Pomeranz, and today, hello everyone. My name is Pomeranz, and today I'll be going over the best new solo pyro build that uses the mod that uses volcanic rounds, not mod, volcanic rounds and reload boost. It's pretty interesting because you really use no Akari really. I mean, you don't really need the Akari chest. I just use it as detonator on it. But yeah, you don't use no heat waves or anything in this build. And I'll be going over how and why you can do that. Now let's start off with the weapons. For my weapons, I'm using a Funeral Pride with Shadow Combat and Claymore. This is just for like a general use, like if there's a pack of enemies up and I have my Ash Flash and Overheat, I can shoot into this group of enemies and I most likely kill everything. For my second theory, I'm using a Roaring Umber with Kinetic Stomp and Moaning Winds. The reason why I'm using an LMG and I say the Animoy is because having two shotguns of the same variant, using the same ammo, you be in a lot of situations to where you just don't have no ammo because you're shooting this gun a lot and it wastes a lot of ammo. So using LMG, you get way more kinetic stomp procs and way more than procs. So it's quite useful to use. And for my pistol, I just have a regular pistol with clip combustion and radiation splash. Now for my armor, I'm using reload boost and capture hunter. Now the cool thing about reload boost is that it bumps up your damage to everything pretty much. It's not a anomaly power increase, it's an anomaly damage increase, and it's multiplicative. Now I'll have a clip that I'm about to show right now of me shooting an alpha with no volcanic rounds proc, and you see I do around like 200k damage to the alpha with Claymore turret and Shadow Comet. And then in the second clip right that I'm showing, you see I activate volcanic and swap off and swap back the Shadow Comet. I'm doing basically 50% more damage, and that's basically everything you do that's anomaly damage, which is pretty cool. So like my Morning Winds, Kinetic Stomp, Radiation Splash, Clip Combustion, every weapon mod does 50% more damage, and which is basically stronger than what it was pre-Fortress nerfs. So it's kind of insane. And then adding this to like all my mods on my gear, pretty much clear without no Akari stacks. And I'll show some gameplay at the end of the video of me doing some expeditions, basically my shall we some speed runs of me without heat waves, and this is pretty cool build. And I have Captains here. And on my chest piece is the armor of the Akari. I have Detonator and Phoenix Force. Phoenix Force is really useful to have because you without Phoenix Force you just can't clear it all. And it's probably the most useful mod for most useful mod for this build. And for my boots, my legs, I have some regular legendary legs with anomaly power, status cooldown. With this combo on all your gear pretty much. I have sunburnt and bullet kindling, and this is pretty much for human maps. And for like if it's a monster map, I switch to power simulation, and you might ask why, because a lot of people don't realize is that alpha perforos count as elite enemies. So when you're on a map with a lot of monsters, you pretty much be at max stacks most of the time because alpha perforos are just abundant on those maps, and it's really useful to have for more damage. And for my gloves, I have Anami status code of depth sense and action boost. And on my boots, I have Amnon power status cooldown, and I have add flash range increase and master consumer. And for my skills, I have volcanic rounds, overheat, and ash blast. Now the best thing about this is that volcanic rounds procs burn, so you still get to use master consumer, and this is great for boss strength. Plus you got bullet kindling to get more damage from your burn when you shoot something with volcanic rounds, which is pretty nice. Now for my skill tree, I'm with the regular solo build. I got my two anomaly power nodes, my mark accumulation, my gifted, and wildfire. And it's pretty much just the regular skill tree. You could go the bottom tree route if you wanted like a more tanky build, so to say. You could go this way. Plus you have way more damage. Like the damage you would be able to do with this build in solo with a not with real boost is kind of insane. You can make this build work in duos if you go bottom tree. If you go the bottom tree route, where you would go down this path pretty much, and then you would spec up here, and you just put on, you would take off bullet kindling and put on uh, empowerment. And empowerment is a level 1 mod. I'll show you what it is right now. It's a tier 1 mod. I think it increases your damage of ash flash range. It increases the damage of ash flash. My fault. Yeah, it's right here. Empowerment. It's pretty much more damage to it. This also, by the way, scales up with uh, reload boost, which is pretty cool. Same with sunburn. It scales up with anomaly damage because it's anomaly damage pretty much. So reload boost pretty much buffs everything, which is pretty cool the way this build works. Well, yeah, pretty much you you which proc volcanic rounds, swap off of it, and then for 15 seconds you just got the buff to anomaly damage. And the best thing about it is it lasts indefinitely because volcanic rounds is on a 14.5 seconds cooldown, and reload boost lasts 15 seconds. So there's a 0.5 second duration where you have time to proc the mod again, and because of that, you always will have it up. So it's pretty strong. It's kind of, I really wouldn't call this like a budget friendly build because you do need a couple of key tier 3 mods, but if you don't like rocking Arm of the Akari or using healers or any of that, you can just use this build and you can just walk through expeditions just clearing really nilly. It's pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll have some gameplay at the end of it of me showcasing the build. Oh yeah, I also want to say thanks to Sirjoseph for showing me this build because without him I wouldn't ever known about it or thought about ever trying anything like this. All props gotta go to him for actually putting in the work to experiment and find something that's pretty much like off meta, but it was an off meta, but that's basically the new meta. I'll have his speed runs. I'll have a speed run link in YouTube in the description and pinned comment. So yeah, show him some love and thank him for the video, thank him for the build. See you later. Have a good one.